Thanks for joining me, and good to see you at IMEX, and long journey over. And so, what are you looking to get out of IMEX? Obviously, you're here every year, but anything specific this year that you're trying to get out of being here? And Pippi, obviously, your first time here. What does IMEX mean to you?
This is the global event for business events, and so it's really important that we're here on the global stage and making sure that Australia is top of mind. So it's incredibly important that we're here and that we're represented, but also not just as Tourism Australia, but Team Australia. So you'll see that we've got a number of partners on this stand, and we show up as Team Australia and make sure that everybody knows that we're here and what we have to offer as a destination.
And Robin, you've been here several times, and
I have, yeah, and it seems to get bigger and better every year. And I think, echoing what Pip was saying, we've got 20 stand partners, we've got our bureaus here, we've got DMC partners and the centres and product from around the country. They're excited to be here. They've got busy appointment schedules. And we know this event delivers for us. We get good leads that come for it, and that's what it's all about, the return on investment.
And you obviously recently had Dreamtime, which is now Australia Next. Any something that's come out of the event from Adelaide? Have you seen any sort of significant impact from that? And obviously expectations for Cairns as well?
Sure. I mean, we invest heavily in not only shows like this where we're prospecting, but getting buyers down to Australia, because we know that when potential conference producers come down to Australia, that they're going to see what it is, what the hype is all about. So it's really important that we invest in showing people our destination, not just telling them about it. So we will continue to invest heavily in shows like Australia Next, and this last one did really well. We got a range of leads out of it, about 211 leads. So they're all being worked on at the moment. And because of that, and to really supercharge our recovery, we're putting an extra one in. We usually do it every 2 years. We're doing one this year as well, as an additional show, just to make sure that people know that we're back, and we can't wait to welcome them to Australia.
And obviously the new convention centre in Cairns, and there's a lot going on. Anything you can share with us of what's going to be, what everybody can expect, or is that still?
We like to surprise and delight everybody coming through, and I think one thing we always pride ourselves on is the satisfaction that we get from people that attend our events, and from the planners and the media that attended Dreamtime back in November in Adelaide. We got 100% satisfaction, as well as those great leads, but we also really did surprise and delight them. So I won't give you too much away what's happening in Cairns, but it's a great opportunity for us to showcase a different side of Australia. Obviously we're in tropical North Queensland, close to the Great Barrier Reef, and a great new convention centre. That's fantastic. It's a great centre that really showcases the destination.
Absolutely. And speaking of events, obviously AIM in your own backyard, and what does that mean to Australia to have that kind of event within obviously bringing APAC business in particular, and now even more so, you've got a couple of competitive shows that have just recently launched in Singapore and Hong Kong. So what does AIM do for Australia itself?
I think for us, when we look at our events calendar throughout the year, we look at where we can get the biggest and best opportunities for our industry. We do our own events like the Australia Next one, but we also do partner in third-party events. It's great that AIM's anchored in Melbourne, and we get international buyers. They had fantastic numbers this year, and hats off to Melbourne Convention Bureau and AIM for delivering a really great event. We actually take the opportunity while those international buyers are down to actually connect with them as much as we can. We do a bespoke event around the program, which we held in the Botanic Gardens, and got the buyers there and showcased a different side to Melbourne that they might not be used to, and it really pays for us to get that opportunity, any opportunity to get a buyer, a planner or media to Australia to experience it firsthand. We know pays dividends for us as a destination.
I mean, on the back of that as well, sustainability is obviously a huge part. I think Australia does really well, and I think Sydney in particular, speaking to Business Event City, how they really focus a key on that. I mean, they all do. I mean,
yes.
Why Australia are they seem to be leading the way in a lot of areas from sustainability? How important is that for business events?
I think it's one of the mega trends, and it's incredibly important. Event planners are telling us that this is what they are after, and our industry is galvanised. They've been on the front foot, and we've done a lot of work over the past year, and in fact now we have a national sustainability framework that all of our tourism ministers signed off in November last year, which is really the North Star in terms of where we want to get to as an industry. And then underneath that, we have some practical tools that we've been working on. So we have a toolkit that all event planners and organisers can access to use. And then we also, our job as a national tourism organisation is to tell the sustainability story. So we have a whole program around our storytellers and really bringing to life the incredible work that our industry is doing in the sustainability space. It's just a really important part of our offering now, and it's no longer a nice to have, it's actually a hygiene factor, and we need to show people that when they come to Australia they're going to leave a lighter footprint. That's what we're working on doing.
Because it's a long haul destination, so sustainability I think plays a little bit more important.
Right. Yeah, and I think we also lead by example, so we make sure that our own events that we have are carbon neutral as well. It's not just the offset and making sure it's carbon neutral, but it's in the development of the program and everything sustainable, stand spaces that are developed, etc. No plastic water bottles, the obvious things, but really important things.
And you can see in the catering as well, I think,
yes,
how everything's locally sourced.
Yes.
Even ICCC, you got down to the fact that this has got a 0% carbon footprint on it. It's amazing how diverse that can be.
And when we talk to planners about sustainability, because it is important, it is what their customers are looking for, we talk about the holistic side of the whole event. So obviously there's getting to Australia, but it's the centre you're in, the venue you're staying in, the accommodation you're staying in, and what they're doing, which is why there's some amazing Australian brands that are doing great work in this space. And our role is to really advocate for them and educate the wider industry on what Australia is offering.
Yeah, and outside of the event, we're also seeing that we're engaging with industry to allow delegates to give back. You know, delegates are looking to leave a lighter footprint and maybe leave the destination a little bit better than they found it. And so we're working with a range of industry on things that they can do. So, for example, in Cairns, they can go out to the reef and they can help on reef restoration projects. In Darwin, they can make art out of marine debris that they find. So there's a whole range of things that they can do, and we're finding that that's really resonating well with planners, but also with their delegates.
Yeah, and I think on that incentive travel, I mean, how important part is that to your market, essentially in Australia? I mean, a two-part question: China's obviously big on the incentive. Are you seeing a lot of the Chinese business coming back now as well?
Yeah, so China is coming back because a lot of those programs are incentive programs, and the Chinese economy is perhaps a little cooler than it was. We're finding that those incentives are coming back, but perhaps not in the same size as they were. But we're seeing that as a bit of an opportunity, because destinations that probably couldn't have coped for the 10,000 delegates can now have access to those other to those sort of incentives. So China continues to be an incredibly important market for us. We're continuing to really double down on our presence in that market from a business events point of view, and we know they'll come back.
That does it. Yeah. And connectivity-wise, are you seeing a lot more flights coming in now? Is that improved quite a bit since obviously COVID?
Aviation's back to about 100%. There's still some key routes there that we're looking to build back. But we're also seeing some new routes. So we've got Turkish Airlines who are connected to Australia now for the first time ever. We've got more connectivity to India and Korea than we've ever had, direct connectivity. And we've also got now direct connectivity with Europe. So we've got Perth-London, we've had that for a few years. We've got Perth-Rome, and from July we're going to have Perth-Paris as well. And those single flights really do make a difference in terms of the perception of the distance of Australia from the rest of the world.
Is there still a potential London to Melbourne or Sydney flight on there?
Those are absolutely on the plan, just awaiting the long-haul aircraft. Yes.
Sunrise from Qantas.
Yeah.
Just I think there was ATEC. You're obviously you're trying to lobby to get funding for that. Is there an update on that at all at the moment?
Our industry associations appreciate that it is a very competitive world out here. You just need to look around this show floor. They're always lobbying to help us out.
Oh, that's good. That's always a good thing to have. And in terms of any form of updates, what can we expect for the next couple of years? Any sort of major developments going on?
So the infrastructure pipeline for Australia just continues. Since COVID, we've had 236 new hotels opened, and the pipeline is still strong. So we've got the Marriott in Adelaide's opening very shortly. We're getting a new Waldorf Astoria, the first one in Australia in Sydney's opening. We've got other properties all around the country. It's not just linked to one destination. It's really strong from that. And incentive experiences as well, and new venues being added, so it's really strong.
And obviously 2032, the Olympics, that's going to be exciting times. I mean, will TA be very much involved in helping Brisbane with that?
We are already planning on how Australia shows up to the world in 2032, so watch this space, absolutely.
Exciting times.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. Well, listen, I wish you both a very good IMEX. I hope it goes well for yourselves, and thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat.
And enjoy Perth in September.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.